cringe it is to listen to you, love, right? Bournemouth have form in this, but we were 2-0 down to Bournemouth earlier on this
Look at Laura Woods. Look at Laura Woods.
season and came back, and you lot are the most cringeworthy, desperate, honestly, try hard fan base I've ever heard in my life. You are the luckiest club I've ever come across in my life. You scored in the 8th minute. You scored in the 8th minute of the 6 minutes added on, and you celebrate like a kid that's just been given a packet of Percy Pigs. Honestly,
Dan.
Listen, I've got Spurs fans are raging. I've told you all year. And by the way, listen. Man United embarrassed this weekend. It's one weekend. This is every day for Tottenham, and they have been broken and ripped to pieces by Arsenal. Arsenal on course to win the league, coupled with Conte about to be sacked and everything else that's going on. They're fuming, having a go here at Laura Woods, calling Arsenal fans try hard and over celebrating for being top of the league.
Do you know what I heard there? What I heard in your wonderful rant? I heard, wow. I heard, oh, God, we lost 1-0 to Wolves at the weekend. What's the best thing I can do on a Monday morning? I can call up TalkSport and cry about how much Arsenal fans are having a great season. And, oh, we hate our manager. Our manager's, he's a born winner. But guess what? Arsenal, worry about yourselves.
it's not about Spurs. It's about Arsenal.
You're right. It's about Arsenal, top of the league. Arsenal. Where?
And that's just it there from Laura Woods. Spot on. I can't. Listen, Man United deserve every single bit of stick they get today. But after today, or after the next game, it ends because you're behind us in the league. You haven't won a trophy yet this year. You've got no room to banter. They're fuming. They're so angry. It's unbelievable.
Where are Spurs at the moment? How much do you think you're going to hang on to 4th place, Dan?
I think we will, because I think yesterday was a bit of an anomaly with...
It was a bit of an anomaly. Spurs losing this season and the run of form they're on's an anomaly when their manager is literally upon the brink of being sacked.
Let's go! Come on! Looking back at yesterday, and there was a moment when Bournemouth were winning by 2, and it looked like there'd be a real twist at the top. Did you guys feel that?
Gary Neville podcast talking about the Arsenal game. Let's see what Gary's got to say.
I mean, before the game, I went to Salford thinking that, to be fair, City had won. I thought City had a more difficult game. They were more likely to drop points in my mind yesterday, if anybody. I didn't think either team would, to be fair. So City did their job, and then you expect Arsenal to go and comfortably win. The fact that they've won in that way gives them that extra spirit and that extra momentum, because it's a game that you would expect them to win. You would expect them to win 2 or 3-0, just Bournemouth a second from bottom. But they've made it really difficult for themselves. And look, they've got a real momentum. They've got a spirit building. The fans are with them. I would say to them they should stop conceding goals. It sounds like a really simple thing to say, but when you concede goals on a run, it's really tough. And they've conceded 2 against Bournemouth. They've conceded against Brentford. They've conceded against United, Villa, City. They've conceded quite a few goals. I think 11 goals in the last 8 games. So they just need to...
Good Jamie Carragher there kind of holding in his laughter. That just tells me that it's a fair point being made by Gary Neville. They've got to stop conceding goals. But it's almost like I'm going to keep saying this and hope and pray that my prediction comes true. I think that's why Jamie Carragher is kind of really struggling to stop himself bursting out with laughter. By the way, make sure you scan that QR code on the screen and follow us on Spotify. 2 podcasts a week released on there. Make sure you are following it. Let's go back to what Gary Neville's saying.
Manage that a little bit, because they've got, I think, 12 games to go now. City still aren't playing at their fluent best. We've got a hell of a title race.
You haven't changed your mind, though.
No, because I made my point.
I want to say that there. City are still not playing at their fluent best. He's been telling us they're going to get to their fluent best for the past 10, 11 games, and they still haven't done it. That's why, for me, I'm not hating on City. I actually think City have been pretty good in the last few matches. That they have done well. But it's kind of like, when it comes to what Gary Neville says this season on Arsenal, the way I look at it is this. He said Arsenal have no leaders and United will finish above them. He said that people just, this is the guy that said people can just take the ball off Messi now and look what he goes and does at the World Cup. He said United were phased and won't, won't be phased and are too strong to kind of lose at Anfield. He even said that Liverpool didn't play well at all yesterday. Like, he's having a nightmare of a season. He really, really is, not just on the Arsenal opinions.
I made my prediction at the start of the season, and I'm not going to change my opinion of Manchester City.
I can't overly disagree with that. I'm not trying to disagree with it. But the fact that Arsenal haven't changed his mind at all, I think that is the element that's wrong. This is what I don't think Gary Neville gets by the criticism that he is kind of generating. It isn't that you're predicting City to win the league. It's that you're not taking into consideration since August what Arsenal are now. That, I think, is what's frustrating people. But yet you see an improvement in Man United and you praise it and you laud it up. And I get that you're a Man United fan, but you're a paid pundit who's meant to speak fairly. And most of us believe that you've got an agenda, that you've got a fear factor, a big worry about Arsenal. And I think it's going to end up exposing you at some point.
I see the players come here today. I see one or two players coming out in the second half, having a laugh and a joke. The one alone at Anfield, having a laugh and a joke with some of the Anfield staff, goalkeeping coach. I don't like to see all that rubbish. Do not like to see it. And I just think that circus can creep back into Man United, and the manager and the senior players have to keep an eye on that.
Spot on there by Roy Keane. It's business. This is big boy business. And it is. People don't look at football as being serious, but from a business point of view, just take away the sport for a moment. From a business aspect, it's £1 billion industry. These games are worth tens of millions of pounds. When you add up the cost of putting games on, what players are paid, the TV rights, every game is worth tens of millions of pounds. And you're 1-0 down at half time and you're coming out and laughing and joking with it. You should be so focused, have such tunnel vision and only looking at the game. He's bang on.
Same with Old Trafford against West Ham the other night. A lot of nonsense before the game. A lot of presentations. I understand maybe one or two, but it was about 4 or 5.
That's for after the game. You don't do it before a game.
And then, again, you look at half-time. There's a couple of players walking down the tunnel and having a laugh and a joke. You're one alone at Anfield. You're here to work. It's a serious business. It's big boy stuff.
Said the same.
Forget this laughing and joking rubbish. And then when you turn up like that in the second half and lads are, again, throwing the towel in,
Some
I'm expecting to be laughing at the end of the game.
Some of them have to look. When I played here, we always felt that Man United, if they did anything, got far more publicity than were due. I think it must be an issue.
That's actually true. That's why a lot of people hate Man United. When we do good things, we do get lauded up because we are the most famous team in England. Facts.
Playing for Man United, and this is me not having a go at Man United. They are like the equivalent in Germany. Bayern Munich are known as FC Hollywood. I think playing for United, that same thing applies. You get a lot of publicity, you get a lot of attention, far more than at any other football club. And I think you have to have strong senior characters in the dressing room, and I'm sure you were that, Roy, to control that kind of behaviour. That people less.
And listen, I want to say, Graham Souness has said a lot of things that I disagree with in the past, but this I think is spot on. I think, having had nearly 24 hours to reflect, I think some of these Man United players, along with a big percentage of our fan base, got too big for their boots. And I've said it many, many times, but when a fan base becomes too confident, too cocky, too arrogant, it will also seep into that dressing room. Or the players become a little bit too sure of themselves. One loss in 22 games, just won a trophy, knocked out Barcelona. We've come from behind a couple of times. And then what you're seeing is an arrogance from them, but the fans ain't keeping them honest. So sometimes the fans' arrogance can seep into a dressing room. Sometimes, though, the players can have arrogance as well. And if you don't have fans ready to humble the players and say, listen, focus, work hard, stop, don't be a clown, the problems can seep back in. And I think what's happened is almost a meeting in the middle of the fans becoming too arrogant, the players becoming a little bit overconfident, and this abomination happened in the middle. My feeling is United will bounce back from this. I do not believe for a single moment that Man United are going to capitulate, fall away, crumble, become a bad team because of this defeat. I don't believe that for a singular second. Ten Hag won't allow it to happen. I don't think Casemiro will. I don't think Rashford will. But we have to listen to what these pundits have said here because they are so spot on. They are spot on. Like you would not believe. Like you would not believe. They are so spot on. And listen, United fans deserve to be bantered in general for this because there was a bit too much arrogance. And I get everyone saying, oh, you got to big your chest out. You got to celebrate. You got to have fun. You can have fun without being arrogant. You can big your chest out without being almost nauseating with, over-indexing how good you've become. We've improved this year dramatically on last season, in my opinion. But are we the finished article? No, we're 9 months into a rebuild and we should celebrate everything we've achieved. But we have, and I put myself in the category with Man United fans. We became too arrogant. There's a great scene. There's a great scene in the Jurassic Park movies where one of the female lead characters in the first film, I forget her character, and the blonde lady says to Richard Hammond, who created Jurassic Park, "You didn't respect the power that you were creating." And this just reminds me of that. Man United fans got a little bit too ahead of themselves and disrespected the overconfidence and power that arrogance gives you. And when you have that overconfidence and you're kind of tainted with it and you're drunk on it, results like yesterday can happen. This should be a big learning curve for Man United. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Hit the like and the share button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. I want to see your comments below. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.